Wagoneer's done, sort of.
Yeah, it's I mean, we're driving it.
Yeah. So last time we talked to him about this thing, we were actually putting new heads on the new motor for this thing, which is a 6.0 with a 4L80, still 4-wheel drive. Oh. And the 6.0 and 4L80 is in this thing. So we just had it over here at Able Racing, getting it tuned, and now we're out driving it around to make sure everything's cool with it, or what we need to change.
Yeah, you know, I mean, this is like one of my favorite vehicles ever, so I'm gonna nitpick this deal apart. Like, there's a couple of vibrations that I'm not real sure what's going on. There's a couple of things that need addressed, you know, but all in all, it's one of my favorite vehicles. So,
and we already doubled the horsepower.
Putting a 6-liter in it ain't gonna change that, you know. So I'm gonna put some fuel in it right here. We're gonna take it down the road, cruise it around a little bit, and see how the tune and the shift points are and all that stuff.
So 6-liter. It's run by factory ECU. Andre tuned it with HP tuners. It's just a P01 ECU. This is actually the computer that I had in shop truck and the wiring harness. So we just pulled it off of it since I got Fuel Tech now. Iron Goat put it on this, and now it's running the 6-liter and the 4L80. Nice and quiet, just how Shawn likes it. Just got a stock cam in it. Nothing fancy.
Like, you know, just at a quick, quick glance, there's a few things I don't like, you know, I mean, like this, you know, I don't like this. This is no longer.
Well, yeah.
So we can really do away with that. Because it is speed density now instead of, it doesn't need this mass air anymore. And I really thought that was going to be a problem for me.
I did too.
I'm taking this up to the mountains.
11,000 feet up there.
11,000 feet is where it's at up there. So you would think that you would want the mass air to help tune itself once it gets to them elevations. But Andre says, no, it'll be fine. If the Mad Russian says it's going to be fine, I got to trust that, you know? So if anybody can tell where we got this unit right here from, everything Phantom has, he paints white, which, you know, isn't a bad thing, but, you know.
Yep. I'm gonna need that back.
I mean, the gas gauge is working, speedometer doesn't work. I mean,
the engine coolant temp works, the oil pressure works.
There was a couple of little problems that we've already had. It was stuck in third when we got here. Had to repin the harness.
So what we had to do with the harness was the same thing I just did on my 2003 SS. So if you watch the video on that, you know what we had to do there to make it work. But now it works. The torque converter locks up as it should.
Well, we don't know. We're about to find out.
Yeah. So we're gonna take it down the road and see.
Temperature gauge rides. Like, that's where it's always fucking rode. You know, like this thing, I've never been able to get this thing heated up.
Yeah.
You know, let's see if the heater works.
It makes noise.
Well, I mean, that's what this thing does normally.
Oh, that's gonna be a problem.
I can feel a little bit of heat down there, but nothing.
Nothing over here for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's a problem. All right, let's go see.
Ooh, it scorched out.
So
this thing would never do that
it'll
before.
peel out. It'll peel out, you know. We're gonna find out here in a minute if it'll peel out. Or at least how good it'll peel out. Like this, I've never wanted this thing to try to go fast. Look, if this is you and somebody's trying to turn the other way, you're a fucking idiot.
This guy right here.
Yeah.
And of course he's driving a Ford.
Yes.
It's always a Ford.
Look, this girl's nice though. She's gonna let me ride out here.
Oh, and she's in a Ford. Sorry, Ford ladies.
Oh, firm shift right there.
Firm shifts, yeah. Oh, and there's the lockup.
It just locked up, didn't it?
Yep.
Holy shit.
What?
Oh, okay. I was fixing to say, if that oil pressure's right, we better kill this thing right now. Okay, that's a
something
problem.
with the electrical system.
I rolled the window up, and as I'm rolling the window up,
Yeah.
all the gauges just shut off. Like, watch. The oil pressure went down to nothing. Look at that. Okay, so
that's an issue.
That's a problem. Ooh, I don't. Yeah, it runs. I don't know how good the brakes are.
I've never had that problem before.
Yeah, no, I've never had to stop that fast. I mean, it runs. I'm plenty happy with how it runs.
The performance. Check.
So we took it up 2 days ago to Mustang Muffler. I've done all my business with Rod up at
Forever.
Mustang Muffler. Yeah, forever since I moved here. If you ask somebody where do you go get exhaust done at, you take it to
Mustang
Rod.
Muffler.
Mustang Muffler, holler at Rod.
Yep.
I mean, he does LS swaps. He does everything.
They
there.
do it all there.
Yeah, they do it all.
Our detail guys in the
look
same.
at this VP place.
Oh yeah. There we go. We're in.
So,
What?
man, we got to remember all this stuff. Look at all the lights while the blinker's on. And you know what?
Yeah.
I don't even know if the blinker's working.
None of this has to do with Andre.
This isn't the tune.
It seems like Andre did his job.
The tune feels good.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy with that. Man, we got to write some of this shit down, man.
Okay.
Like,
Electrical gremlins. I bet it just needs more grounds, honestly.
Speedo.
All gauges flash with turn signals. Yep, I bet money on just a ground for that shit.
See if the blinker's working.
Oh, and the windshield wiper's working.
Okay, so basically, okay, let me find that. Okay, there's one for the back window. Let me remember where it's at. It's been a long time since I used it. That's my fog lights. I thought it was this up here. Yep. See, look, it's trying to. Okay. Think we can do a burnout right here?
Do it. Yep. Man, it runs good.
It runs real good.
Oh, I feel heat down here now.
Okay, but it's supposed to be up here.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem.
And I'm telling you right now, man, the one thing about this deal is when it warmed up, it heated up in here.
Yes.
And when you're in the mountains, where I keep this thing.
Where it was -2 the other day. Yeah, and I hear it back there.
That's just from being on the brakes.
So something's definitely glitching in the electrical system here.
Yes. I don't have a problem at all with the tune, though. Jesus.
No.
Thing seems to run good.
So you seen on the dyno pools there, it made right at 260 horsepower. It's pretty good. And that was in second gear. It was in second gear. It's a bone stock 6 liter. with probably the worst LS heads ever, besides the iron ones that we took off.
Yes.
I mean, but still, at 260 horsepower, that's double what this thing used to make to the rear wheels, probably.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Drives
even if you call it 260, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah, no, the thing runs good, dude.
Yeah.
I'd probably fuck this Hellcat up next to us. Is it?
Yep.
No, I couldn't be happier with how it runs and drives. But we've got, you know, a few bugs to work out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call Chris at Iron Go, and I'm gonna just let him know, hey, if you're still there, we're gonna drop this thing off to you, and then we'll tell him what we need done.
Yep.
Get out of this guy.
What's up, guys? So today I am playing Mobile Mechanic. We ran into a few problems on the test drive with Shawn's Wagoneer. Made pretty good power on the dyno, like we said. We were driving around, beating on it pretty good. Got back to the dyno shop to let them know everything felt good, and you know, just a little bit of changes we wanted him to make in the ECM. Got out of the truck, big puddle of transmission fluid under it. We blew a transmission line. So test drive was over for the day. Had to leave it there, bring a trailer back, go get it, take it back to Iron Go so they could fix everything, and then work on some electrical gremlins we were having. So fast forward a couple days, Shawn's getting ready to leave for New Mexico, where he keeps the Wagoneer. They call him no oil pressure. So at this point, he's Shawn's pretty much heartbroken, because I don't get it. This Wagoneer is his prized possession. The guy that owns 2 Murder Novas loves his Wagoneer just about more than anything else that he owns. So anyways, no oil pressure. I went over yesterday, I put a mechanical gauge on it. Sure enough, no oil pressure. So took the filter off, cut it open, took it to our engine builder, Gerald at Brand Racing Engines, just right down the road from the shop. He looked at the filter, he said it honestly didn't look too bad. So what he told me to do was go back over here, pull the pan, and pull a couple rod caps off and see what the bearings look like. If the bearings don't look too bad, I'm gonna put them back together, and I'm gonna put a new oil pump on this thing. So, and then see if we get oil pressure. So, you know, rod bearings may not tell us everything. You know, it could have spun a cam bearing or something, and I won't be able to see that. But if rod bearings look good, I'm gonna put oil pump on it, and we're gonna run this thing. So I'll check back in whenever I get there and see what we got. So I got the pan off, and I instantly see this. I'm not sure what it is. I can't really tell. It's kind of got rounded on the outside. I just can't really tell. So, not starting off great. I'll go ahead and pull the windage tray so I can get to the rod caps, pull a couple of them off, see what the bearings look like. This is what the actual bottom of the pan looks like, though. Not great. So, pulled all the rod caps, they all look good. Decided to pull a main, it looks pretty good also. I did glance up in there, and one of the cam lobes is pretty chewed up. But that wouldn't explain our no oil pressure, I don't think. Turn this back on, see if we can see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it up in there. Not really unsure at this point. I'm not sure if I want to put a pump in it and try to run it, or if it's a waste of time. So make a couple phone calls and get some accomplices or some. No, don't do that. So the guys at Iron Goat got the motor pulled out of Shawn's Wagoneer for me, and like I showed yesterday, the main and rod bearings look fine. So got this thing here, got it all tore apart. The cam bearings don't look bad either, which is a bonus, I guess, if we're looking for a positive in a situation. However, the valve train, I've never seen anything like this. I've been messing with LS stuff for a long time. I've used a lot of junk. I've used a lot of used parts, less than desirable parts, and I've never seen anything like this. The rollers on these lifters, they're flat, if you couldn't see that. We're kind of guessing that they spun in these trays. Look at this one. Look at that. That's incredible. So these trays are junk. There, a while back, there was a shortage of LS7 lifters. For those of you that are into LS stuff, you remember that. It wasn't too long ago. So, found some on eBay because no one had any that I could find. So, we got these. Figured it wouldn't be a problem because it's just going in the Wagoneer that he's not going to race. He's not going to beat on. It's just a cruiser. And man, that was a mistake. It came with lifters and trays together. And these trays are just junk. This one right here is a good tray from Texas Speed. This one right here is from whoever we got these from on eBay. I mean, I could throw these in from across the shop. I mean, they just fall in and fall out. So what we're guessing is it may have been able to spin in there and would cause the flat spots there. On the good trays, you got to kind of shove them down in there, and then they're in there. So, man, that sucks. Luckily, I guess, I've got a spare set of lifters, spare set of lifter trays. I'm gonna try to find another cam and put a new oil pump on it and put it back together, and hopefully we're fine. I'll probably get a guy who's a little more experienced in this than myself over here to be my accomplice before I go ahead and throw it back together. But I don't know. Everything else looks okay. Like I said, all the bearings look fine. Cam bearings look okay. It did trash the cam, and it wasn't a stock cam like we had originally thought and hoped for. It's a comp. It's like a 206, 212 camshaft. I'm not sure what I'll do there. Probably just put a stock one in and retune it. But that's where we're at on this. Oh, this one right here. Which one was it? One of these lifters literally fell apart in my hand. Like, that's it. There's the clip. Came apart. I was holding it, fell apart in my hand. So that's that for now. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to source everything out, and I'll get the okay to put this thing back together, and then we can get it back in the Wagoneer and he can start driving this thing again like he has wanted to for several months now. So stick around, we'll see what it takes. So one thing that I like to do that we didn't do last time we put this motor together was I like to clean out the head bolt holes. I don't know who makes this tool. I bought it on eBay. I think they're like $15 to $20, and all it does, put it down in your head bolt hole, run it down all the way, run it down all the way. It takes a minute. There's bottom, run it back out, and you'll be surprised, even on a freshly machined block, how dirty it is down in here. Can't really see on that one. And then I do that for every one of these. Takes a little bit of time. It may not make any difference at all, but I like to do it, so I do it. It's also a good idea to blow the holes out, make sure there's no water in them. If you'll remember in the last video that we did putting this thing together, we ran a few of the bolts down and some water shot out, which isn't really good. A lot of times what that'll do, especially on like aluminum blocks, it's hard to compress water. So once you get all that water pressured up down there in the bottom of the hole with the bolt on top of it, it'll split the block, and that's it's never a good thing. So these aren't too dirty. This one right here I'd already cleaned it before I started the video. It was real dirty. I'll go ahead and start cleaning these out, the rest of them. And if I find a bad one, I'll show y'all what it looks like down in there and why it shouldn't look like that. So right now, we've got the Ranger parts washer fired up, washing the oil pan, pickup tube, just all the little bolts that I have out of here. Had Gerald from Brand Racing come over, check everything out, make sure I was going back together with it, and it was going to be okay. He went ahead and gave me the go-ahead. So I'm going ahead. This thing's going to get new lifters. I'm going to go ahead and put a new oil pump in it. This had a milling 10295 in it. It's probably not terrible, but I'm going to go ahead and replace it anyways. So new lifters, new lifter trays, and I located a stock camshaft to put in it. So get this thing put back together. And then Gerald also brought me over a oil primer canister here. So I've never used one of these, but it looks pretty cool. So we'll see if this thing has oil pressure before I take it back over and let Iron go put it back in the Wagoneer. All right, so this 6 liters back together, and it seems like it's going to be all right. Gerald brought over this cool primer canister thing here. Goes into the this is where the oil pressure sensor for the gauge inside the vehicle goes. Unscrew that, screw the fitting in for that, air the tank up to about, I don't know, I had 65-70 pounds in it when I first started, and then flip that little yellow switch and make sure you have an oil filter on it or it will go out of that hole. But right now, all I'm waiting on is number 7 exhaust rocker here to start showing some oil, and then it looks like this thing's going to be fine. So got new oil pump, new head gaskets, new lifters, new lifter trays. Washed it, or you know, not everything, but washed the pan and everything up real good. And take this thing back to Iron Goat, let them put it back in, and try this thing all over again.